besties, welcome back to another reading vlog. I have officially started my wintry holiday reads and I wanted to kick off the reading vlog and give you an update on what I'm reading and just my thoughts on it so far. So I'm currently reading The Christmas Tree Farm and I haven't read any of the other books in this universe. I believe it's an interconnected series. There's the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I haven't read those yet. I immediately wanted to read this one simply because of how cute the cover is. I just love this one and it's set at a Christmas tree farm. So basically we follow our main female character Kira, who is a twin. And she's kind of feeling a bit lost right now because her twin has started to like live her own life that isn't right next to hers. She's like moved across the world, is married, and now Kira's just feeling a little bit lost. She's having an identity crisis, so she decides to buy a Christmas tree farm up north. And mind you, she's from the south, so she's already freezing cold and it hasn't even like snowed yet, but she's trying to prove herself that she can do something that's uniquely hers and that she doesn't need her twin or her family support to help her do it. So she randomly purchases a Christmas tree farm sight unseen and she revamps the place and is trying to like, you know, join the community. And then we also follow our main male character Bennett, and he is basically the type of guy of if he wanted to, he would. He is an acts of service man. He wants to help take care of Kira, help fix up the farm, is very generous with his time. I'm currently like 50% in and I'm eating it up. Basically, it's giving Gilmore Girl vibes just set during winter and I am obsessed with it. We get to meet all the quirky characters in this town and they have a town hall meeting and we get to see the dynamics of that. So it's very reminiscent of Gilmore Girls. Obviously, there's some spice to it. Oh, it's, you know what it's giving? It's giving Gilmore Girls with a Hallmark movie during wintertime, you know, like the wholesomeness of a Hallmark movie and then the quirkiness of Gilmore Girls and then just a sprinkle of spice. That's what this book is giving. And I just honestly think this is the perfect book to be reading right now. It is light, it is fluffy, it's fun, it's ridiculous. I love a Christmas tree like farm setting. Love Light Farms is another book that comes to mind where I loved the setting of that book. So I'm just eating this book up. I'm having such a fun time. If you're looking for something more lighthearted and not too ridiculous, like there is like some substance to this book, but it's not, you're not like getting like tearful moments, if you know what I mean. Like it's just a good fun time. And I'm just very happy and content that I picked this book up and I'm reading it for this vlog and kicking off the winter holiday season. I'm dressed in a little sweatshirt and scarf because it is finally cold in Texas, you guys. It is like in the 30s, so I feel like I can like bundle up now and not be like sweating. So I love that for me. If you guys have read this book or any of the other books in this universe, I would love to know. I heard someone say that. I think it's the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. That one actually takes place in the summertime, so it's not really a fall setting book, but if you guys have read the other ones and they're just as fun, lighthearted goofiness, let me know and I might read them next year because I'm just loving it. I'm eating it up. Or, I said that really weird. Or if you have any other recommendations similar to this one, let me know in the comments below. I just love this time of year because I just love Christmas. I think it's such a magical time. The feeling in the air, everyone just seems so cheery. And then also just like holiday romance. There's so many good holiday rom-coms, especially movies. I'm just obsessed, so it's my favorite time of year. And I honestly can't believe we are here. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's almost 2025? That's a bit scary and I don't want to think about that too much, but regardless, circling back to the book, I'm 50% in and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's been a minute since I've updated you guys and I've actually finished reading The Christmas Tree Farm. I really loved this book. I enjoyed it a lot. I went in with not low expectations, but I went in knowing that this was going to be a fun, lighthearted, nothing serious romance, and that's exactly what it was. If you go in anticipating like emotional depth or just anything deeper, then you might not enjoy this one as much, but I thought it was perfect for the holiday season. I loved the Christmas tree farm setting. I thought Kira and Bennett were just really cute together as a couple. I just loved them, and I loved all the quirky little characters in this town. They are so reminiscent of Gilmore Girls, especially when they were at the town hall meeting. There's a town hall meeting in this book, and it just was so reminiscent of Gilmore Girls to me, so I really enjoyed it, and I still stand by that this is a Gilmore Girls and Hallmark Christmas movie mashup with a sprinkle of spice, and it just was so fun, so magical. They got snowed in, and it felt like a little magical moment in a snow globe. Like, I just loved it, and I still think this cover, I stand by it being so cute. Like, look at that cutie little dog. Anyways, obsessed, and I would recommend it. So I ended up giving it, I think, a 3.75. Like, that's how much I loved it. I flew through it, and again, perfect way to kick off the holiday season, and I'm so happy I purchased it because this will look so cute on my shelf as well. And I need to figure out which book I'm going to be reading next. I think there's a book called The Holiday Bake Shop, something like that. This is what it looks like. Inserting a photo of it here, but this was popular a few years ago, I want to say, and we're actually reading it for my book club, so I thought this would be the perfect time to pick it up. I am listening to it on the audiobook right now. I'm literally only like 5% in, but I'm enjoying it so far. I don't really know what's gonna happen, and I don't really know what the premise of this book is, so I kind of love that for me, going in very blind, but I hope I enjoy it. I think when we read the synopsis, it sounded more lighthearted and fun, because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of romance books, especially winter ones, have like death or grief as a plot line, and sometimes you just want a lighthearted, fluffy holiday romance. Like, that's all you want. So this book kind of gave that energy, so I'm hoping it continues that way, or just it ends up being that way. But anyways, I wanted to pop in and give an update because it has been a minute, and I think this is going to go up later than I anticipated, which is a bummer because I wanted this to be part of Bookmas, but just life happens, you know? Life happens. I was able to do 6 days, and I'm proud of that. So we're going to continue on, though, reading for the holidays because it is the best time of year still, and I can still read outside of Bookmas. So that's the update. Hi guys, it's actually been a minute since I've spoken to you. I think the last update I gave you guys was like, I don't know which book I'm going to start. I'm maybe going to start The Holiday Swap. Well, I did, and I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but I realized I haven't given you guys like an update on like what's going on, my initial thoughts and feelings, and so that's what this is going to be. So like I said, I'm listening to The Holiday Swap on audiobook, and it's basically following a set of twins. Their names are Cass and Charlie, and they are both bakers, except they live very different lives. So Charlie is this, I want to say like Food Network star, basically. Like, she hosts this like baking reality competition show, whereas Cass works at their family's small town bakery shop, and it's kind of like almost end of December. Like, they've hit December, and they've basically are like, I'm so miserable in my current life. They each have their own problems that they're trying to run away from, and so naturally they decide to swap lives for like 2 weeks, and by Christmas Eve they will swap back. So that's like crazy. So they decide to swap lives, and they think that's going to be the easiest solution, and once they do, they quickly realize, oh my gosh, the other twin has a crazy life that I didn't really think about. So it's like very ridiculous in that sense. And of course, naturally, each of them meet a new man, a love interest in their new city that they're in. So Charlie meets a nice cutie pie firefighter who's really sweet. And then Cass meets a hunky doctor. I love that they both met a firefighter and a doctor. Like, okay, slay. And it's very just like lighthearted fun. Obviously it's like ridiculous because they're like are trying to pretend to be the other twin, and it's very obvious in my opinion. So like that's just like okay, but when you suspend reality and just enjoy it for what it is, I do think this is a fun holiday romance. And it actually reminds me a little bit of the movie, I think it's called The Princess Switch on Netflix. Now, while there's not like royalty in this book that I'm reading, like The Princess Switch, it does still like have similar vibes of like them trading lives, and it's like so polar opposite of each other. Really enjoying it. I think it's perfect coziness for the holiday season. I will say I don't get that much like Christmassy vibes. So if you're wanting this book solely for Christmas or like winter holiday, I wouldn't necessarily pick this one up. It just so happens to be around the holiday season that this is happening. Genuinely curious on how this is all going to play out, how it's going to wrap up. Obviously, they're going to have to come clean to the men that they're talking to because they're still pretending to be the other twin while interacting with everyone. So even their love interests don't realize that they're not actually talking to the twin that they think they're talking to, if that makes sense. So I'm curious on like when they're gonna come clean. Like that's gonna be like the third act drama, isn't it? Like that has to be. So like when is that gonna happen? And then also like when are they gonna just like swap back lives and be like, oh, my life is actually fine? Or do they like stay in each other's swapped lives? I don't know. Very interesting to see what ends up happening. I'm going to check in now with you guys because I just finished reading The Holiday Swap. Well, I actually didn't just finished reading this. I finished it like a day or so ago, but I'm giving you my update on my final thoughts on this book. It was fine. I thought it was an average holiday romance read. I didn't find it that holiday heavy. It was definitely more winter vibes than holiday. So if you want to read this book, just know going into it, if you're expecting like Christmas, Hanukkah, like holiday, actual holiday vibes, it's not that. It's just happens to be in wintertime. And then I think my other discrepancy or like a gripe with it is just I felt like the twins did not have distinctive enough personalities, at least when listening to the audiobook, because I would constantly forget which POV I was listening to, and it was hard sometimes trying to differentiate them because they're twins and I know they're supposed to be similar, but I just wish they had just a little bit more personality distinction between them. But the audiobook was fabulous. Like, I thought it was great. I didn't have any complaints there. And it was just like an average holiday romance read. Like, I don't have profound thoughts on it. So I'm giving it a 3-star rating. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. It was a fun time. It definitely, I feel like, leans heavily into like winter Hallmark movie vibes. So if that's your thing, you will probably like this book. But yeah, so anyways, I loved The Christmas Tree Shop, The Christmas Tree Farm. I thought that book was so fun, and that was the perfect holiday romance book. I think I'm just also biased because I love a Christmas tree setting. Like, that's so fun. And then The Holiday Swap was just a good old wintry romance. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for today's vlog. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know your thoughts on them down below. And if you have any similar book recommendations or just in general holiday romance book recommendations that you think I should check out and add to my TBR, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you want to keep up with me in real time, make sure to check out my Instagram page, my book Instagram account. I'm constantly updating my stories on there with what I'm reading, thoughts on what I'm reading. So if you want to stay up to date, make sure to check it out. And as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, you guys, so you don't miss out on my next video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.